I think the next keynote will be a perfect fit, an enthusiast for capital markets. Let's take a closer look at financial asset tokenization, specifically how to avoid disaster. Join me in welcoming Ralf Kubli, board member of the Casper Association.
Excellent. So, yes, my name is Ralf Kubli. I'm with the Casper Association, and I'm here with a word of caution and hope, because we're in trouble when it comes to tokenization, but there is hope. There's people that actually think about it quite profoundly and will prevent disaster. So the future of finance is tokenized, right? We do expect all financial assets, and more specifically financial contracts, to live in blockchain and DLT-enabled environment. What do we mean by financial contracts? On-balance sheet instruments, like bonds, annuities, etc. Off-balance sheet instruments, like swaps, if you'd like some CDOs as well, if they're still around. And credit enhancements. They will also live in these DLT-based environments. But truly, we're headed for disaster. And why is that? Because the state of the current way that we tokenize is terrible. It's terrible. So the current way to tokenize bonds, the market leader in this market here and maybe in Europe, takes a PDF, hashes the PDF, and puts the PDF in the token. Okay, that is hardly an innovation. That is quite a dumb token. No innovation whatsoever. The second problem is that most tokenization platforms currently available only tokenize the asset side. Where's the liability? Now, I'm not sure to which school that you have gone or in which bank you work, but that is clearly ungenügend. That's an F, okay? If you don't know that you also need a liability side. And don't look for DeFi to solve the problem, okay? DeFi today is basically over-collateralized lending of commodities. I think we can say, when I'm in the US, I don't say commodities, but in Europe we can say that. It's over-collateralized lending, okay, of commodities. And how much over-collateralized lending do you see in the real world? Not much. So DeFi will not solve your problem. We're going to use a well-tried and proven concept to solve this problem. We need to put the cash flows into these tokens. And how do we do that? Well, first we start with real finance. So we take the term sheet that defines the financial contract, we make it digital, but natively digital, truly digital. It needs to be machine readable, it needs to be machine executable, and it needs to be machine auditable. Right? And we combine that with the unique features of blockchain, which give you observability, verifiability, and, in our case, auditability. And what is the result? The result are smart financial contracts, truly smart contracts, smart financial contracts that describe and represent the financial obligation that the parties have entered into on a blockchain. So how do we solve this currently? I'm with Casper Association, and there is a company, I will mention this afterwards, that is tokenizing on the Casper blockchain, and we do have an actual client. This client has leasing contracts, a lot of them, and loans, term loans, and we are actually tokenizing these financial contracts. As I said before, we do it the right way. So we have the asset side represented, we have the liability side represented, and we have an ownership ledger, okay? And because we do like blockchain so much, we also represent the collateral on-chain. So these are cars, could be other types of infrastructure, could be any collateral, really. Now, it's a bit difficult to collateralize, to tokenize a car, so we just represent the car on chain. I'd like to see someone. And what is the result of this? This is basically giving you a near real-time balance sheet on a granular level. And why does this leasing company want to tokenize its $4 billion on its balance sheet? Because they want to enter the future of finance. What will this mean here to the audience? So imagine in the future basically is here already, right? So you have in Germany put the infrastructure in place to actually custody financial instruments on chain. In Switzerland, that's the case as well. So assume we have an issuer wallet. So this leasing company will have a wallet. It will issue and represent these financial contracts. Could be leasing contracts, term loans. Because I'm Swiss, maybe there's some structure products, so we call this Struckis in Switzerland. So we have some Struckis in this balance sheet here, in this wallet. And then we go to the capital providers directly. And we ask the capital providers, what kind of exposure would you like? And the capital provider says, well, I really like the painters and, the coffee machine servicers. I want those financial contracts from you. So we're transferring those. Then I really like some term loans, and this specific profile. And then, I take another leasing contract from southern Germany, and then I like somehow you hedged some of these positions, so I'll take one of those structured products as well, and you're done. That's it. That's the future of finance. You push the button, and the obligations and the assets the assets, maybe also the obligations, can move from one wallet to another wallet. That is your securitization of the future. Right? And because these financial contracts are smart, they're smart financial contracts, and we have APIs, we're solving for the most difficult problems on an automated basis that you guys face today and ladies face today in capital markets. We solve the problem of reconciliation, we solve the problem of systemic risk, and we solve the problem of regulation. All you do in the future is you give an API to the regulator. That's it. No more PwC. There's nobody. No more PwC, no more expensive consultants, an API, okay? Imagine. So that's the future of finance. So I am summarizing. So the future of finance is built on smart financial contracts because they are built on an open source standard called Actus. They will give you near real-time balance sheets that are machine auditable. And it will provide you with automation that you cannot conceive of today in portfolio management, trading execution, strategies, etc. And I have two more comments. One is, if you do not have a standardized description of the cash flows in these tokens, no one will use your infrastructure. Because the value add in comparison to the old legacy environments does not exist. Is not enough value. This will be all white elephants. So you should talk to us. Because there's hope. There's hope. So there's a company, and also, we were able to convince WM Daten Service to provide infrastructure on the basis of this open source standard, Actus, and basically give you the language, the unifying language of these tokenized instruments going forward. So I'm closing here. So you should tokenize with Nucleus Finance and the WM Data Service, but really to avoid disaster, you need to look at Actus standard and start thinking about in smart financial contracts. So that's the end.